Good evening, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? This is Agyei DaAfrican, welcoming you into a new year, 2026. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I did the live stream, and I had a lot of people asking me when I was coming back. And of course, I give my life to the journey. I give my life to our community's children. This is what I do. So I knew I wasn't going to stay away for too long, and I knew I had to hurry on back because I had a lot of spirits and a lot of souls looking out for you, brother. And so we moved on to this new year, and we said that we had crowned this new year the coming of the Ubuntu generation. A lot of meditation, a lot of prayer, a lot of ancestral downloads. And they said, brother, you need to do the whole year under the experience of the coming of the Ubuntu generation. So we know that before we speak, we breathe. Before we teach, we remember. And we know that we're not learning anything new. We are in a process of remembering, a process of accessing the data, the information that is in our DNA, a process of opening up our channels to receive ancestral downloads in our dreams, in our imaginations, and our thoughts, and our experiences. And so we touched on this conversation with the youth on Sunday, the coming of the Ubuntu generation according to how they would understand it. And I said, we're going to take this process because DaAfrican Speaks has never been a show. It's always been a process of remembering. Challenging the information if you want to. The issue is, are you taking the time to remember? And so tonight we're going to talk about what is Afro-Consciousness. What is Afro-Consciousness? And leading you into an understanding of who you were before the world defined you. Who you were before the world defined you. And we get this, it's not what you know. It's what you feel. It's that experience of something that is happening beyond you. It's a level of thinking. Because you can have the information, but the information without awareness. Afro-consciousness is an awareness of your African origin. It's an awareness of your spiritual inheritance. It's an awareness that your mind must be decolonized in order for you to experience any sense of freedom. There has to be decolonization therapy. There has to be a cleansing process when dealing in the space of Afro-consciousness. There's got to be considered processes, deliberate lifestyle changes. And a lot of people say, well, you know what? I'm not from Africa. Why should I be Africa? And that is a part of your decolonization process if you're still saying that. But you can have an authentic experience where you realize that you may be of African blood, but you have a colonized mindset. You may be of African blood with a colonized mindset. Yet you may also have a sense of African consciousness and have never been on the continent. That's where that phrase comes is, I'm not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me. That's a whole different experience. It is a knowing. It's a focus. It's a paradigm shift. Because there was that moment when they controlled the land, and after colonizing the land, the mind was colonized. They said, let us keep the body and take the mind. And so before the state in which we live in now, we were a people that were completely centered, completely focused, completely in tuned, functioning from that inner memory, functioning from that state of not faith, not a belief, but a knowing who you are and why you are. There's a big difference from a colonized mind and an African mind. That colonized mind is going to function from a state of individualism. That colonized mind is going to function from a constricted experience. It's going to focus on matter, meaning everything that is physical, everything that is around, everything that is centered, that immediate. That colonized mind is going to give itself limitations. But that African mindset, that African mind is a communal mindset. That African mind is a mind that deals in spiritual awareness. That African mind knows that everything is in a cycle. Time is not just straight. That African mind knows that we are limitless and we have no boundaries as divine beings. That's that that African mind. And so when we start dealing with the issue of Afro-Consciousness, they said, what is Afro-Consciousness to you today? It's definitely not what you post. According to what's out there now, no. We're seeing less of Afro-Consciousness and more of just people enjoying the life experience, being colonized and not even knowing it. Because it's not about your hair. It's not about the clothes. It's not about what you wear. You can't judge your Afro-Consciousness in that way. When you're looking at or into yourself and you're looking into your being, you're looking at, how do I raise my children? What is the paradigm or the system of beliefs that I'm getting them to understand? How do I engage my elders? What level of respect and wisdom that I'm receiving from them, and am I getting my cues from the journey that they just took? You can judge your Afro-Consciousness by what you gauge success. What is success in your book? We have to know that we cannot move forward in a higher state of being without dealing with the traumas. Because Afro-Consciousness will also appear in how well you focus on your healing. How conscious are you according to the first people of the earth? Well, I know that in my conscious mind that we were colonized. So I know that I have to decolonize myself. And how I go about and the priority that I go about healing my wounds. And that's dealing with what has happened to the motherland. It's dealing with your own epigenetic trauma as well as the issues that you have in your current life right now. They say the heart and the root of mental illness is a spiritual, cultural, and historical amnesia. You have lost who you are. And in that amnesia, you function from that mental illness, that drain, that drought, that what pulls you down. And that's why it's a process of remembering. You can tell the depth of your Afro-consciousness by who you see that you are when you are sitting in a room by yourself. When there's nobody there physically but you. And you are contemplating the thoughts of your life. You want to gauge your Afro-consciousness, the level and the depths of your thinking and your thoughts and your feeling? Sit alone for a minute. How do you see yourself? And when it comes to you, you will remember exactly who you were called to be. It is a state of being, and it is a knowing. This process of remembering is a protective tool for our identity. The once you access your knowing, it protects the identity of our children, which is a secured level or state for our future as a people. And this is why it is deeply important that we help our youth remember now. The earlier that you begin to instill in them the values of Afro-consciousness, the better that they will be able to deal with the world around them honestly. They won't be less and less, they will be functioning less and less from their colonized mindset, their conditioned mindset. You will have them experiencing life through the eyes of someone who is centered. And you can tell if your child gets it, it takes time. Because when they begin to deal with life on their own terms, you'll see it by the time they hit them teens. You'll see it when they go to college. You'll be able to see it in their young adult life. How much did you instill in that state of Afro-consciousness? This is why for us, I'm making sure in World of Agyei, we are making sure that they understand that Ubuntu is a philosophy of remembering. It is what protects your identity. Afro-consciousness is a state that you can maintain and sustain for the perpetuity of your life, of your bloodline. The same way we have epigenetic trauma, we can have epigenetic healing. When they say break the chains, next generation, it would be beautiful. This is why World of Akibaland exists. And so we built it together. So what you're learning now is an advanced process of what they did on Sunday. And we have topics that go throughout the entire year. The whole 365 days have been created and made up. Clear, we won't be guessing at anything. The curriculum is developed not only for them, but for you too. So I ask you a question. When did you know you were African? And not in your name. People are searching for where they began. I don't want you to even know where on the continent your people came from. Not yet. Yes, it is needed. I would like for you to know, when did you know you were African? In your knowing, in your being, in the essence of how you walk, how you love, how you engage the world. When did you know? And that's diving in deeper. What did you have to unlearn when you started making this journey? What did you remember? Now, for those who are listening, take the question. Go into the chats and share that information with me. We have a workbook put together for this journey. And so I invite you to the African Speaks Facebook group, Facebook page, where I will put the workbook on there so that you could ask yourself questions and go through the processes of clarity within inside yourself. So it is a call to action, because you cannot have this awareness and do nothing. You can't have this awareness and be part-time, because the world will pull you back. So this is definitely a call to action, a call to respond, a call to build, a call to support. Because information is just information. It does nothing. We have tons of people who will look, study, read, and be knowledgeable, but never functioning from a place of their knowing. If information could heal a people, all the books and information that is out about who we are, we'd already be free. So in this space, in this place, in this time, in this journey, we invite you. We invite you to join the mission. Sundays, find us on World of Akibaland. If you're in Atlanta, come down to the West End. PAOCC will open its doors to you. Join the conversation. Comment, like, share. I will comment, be a part of the group, or have discussions. Bring a child out. Bringing a child out on Sundays, if you're in the Atlanta environment, we make sure that our youth are in a process of remembering. Because once a child walks in their knowing, they'll be unshook. So we have Sister Najuma saying, I got to get back to class. She's taking a graduate class. But as far as what she's unlearned, she had to unlearn that I'm supposed to do everything alone. And Butu, I am because we are. She said, because that thinking is just a state of survival. I am because we are is a state of living, a state of being, a state of evolving. Yes. So again, we invite you out. We ask you to bring your children. We hope to see you in the DaAfrican Speaks group. And let's have these dialogues. Let's create another whole experience where we're having community discussions. And let us take our time to remember who we are.
Remember. Remember.
We are the keepers of the light.
Agyei. 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 Peace and blessings. May the ancestors be with you in this journey. And let us stick together as we go through this process and the multiple levels of remembering. One love.